Alright, this is going to be less of a political hot take and a little bit more vulnerable. What drives me to express strange opinions on the internet? Well, one of the things that drives me to think about politics 24/7 instead of normal things that normal people care about is the constant psychological torment of my gender and sexuality. I'm calling it gender and sexuality. I'll call it what I want. Yeah, it's not fun. It's not fun up in my head. This is not a fun place to live. So I came up with a catchy little term, a punchy little term. I think I'm going to call the video after the punchy little term for what I've got going on, all right? Autogynephilic compulsory heterosexuality. I'm taking two different terms and I'm smushing them together to make an explanation. There are other terms I could use. Basically, I want to be a girl. Let's get that out of the way up front. I think it would be cool to have big old boobies and be a girl. Yeah, not an unfamiliar experience. Clearly, today, lots of trans people running around. But as you can tell, I haven't done that. I haven't really gone that direction with it, right? I thought about it at one point. Maybe we'll get to that later. Thought about it. Tried to a little bit, but I didn't. Because I think when you talk to trans people on the internet, or advocates for trans people on the internet, they try to root transness in this very eternal, fundamental thing, gender dysphoria. It's very diagnostic-y, and it's very like you got a pink brain and a blue body. You've got some sort of there's something going on chemically, and you just are, and you always have, and it's who you are inside. I don't know if I think that's what's going on with me. I don't think that's what's going on with me. I could say that. It would probably make me more friends, honestly. I could fit in with the trans people if I just did that. If I just said it's who I am inside, and then I just transitioned, and then I'd have a little group. I'd have a little group to be a part of. I'd be a part of the trans people. That would be much easier, I think, than the path I've chosen. But I am not interested in lying to myself. Yeah, that's not what I think's going on with me. I think it's really a lot more straightforward than that. I think that I am a guy who is attracted to women and who thinks it would be very cool to have a woman. I'm saying it like to have a woman in really whatever way. Couldn't care less how one has a woman. Having a girlfriend would be great. That would be a great option. That is a way to have a woman. Being a girlfriend, also great. Also a great option. I would say that they're equally great options because they both elicit the same feeling from me. Like I want them both in the same sort of a way. I think they're connected. I think they're one sort of a thing. But I would actually say being the girlfriend definitely seems better. And if I had a choice and like I had a magic button, right? The magic button test. Trans people like that one, right? They like the magic button test. If I had a magic button, I would definitely choose the being the girlfriend one, becoming the girlfriend. Why? Cause I won't dump me. And if you become the girlfriend, and in this scenario, I'm assuming I'm at least a moderately conventionally attractive girl in this scenario, or maybe it's a looks match. Do you know not translated? Do you know incel language? Looks matches. That's like if you're a 5 as a guy, then a 5 as a girl, right? So if you transition into your looks match, if I pushed a button and I was a girl at the same level of conventional attractiveness as I am as a guy, right? Whatever that is. Okay, I'll leave that for you to decide. Am I a 5? Yeah, I would definitely choose the become the girlfriend one, because I won't dump me, I won't cheat on me, and I'll know I'm attractive. No insecurity in that scenario. I'll know I'm attractive. You know why? Because I'll be attracted to me. I'll be attracted to me in this scenario. I'm the thing I'm attracted to. So I don't have to rely on people of the opposite sex in my life telling me, oh no, you're plenty attractive, it's totally fine, it's great, you know, penis size doesn't matter. It does to me. We'll get to that. So there's a kind of a term for what I'm describing right now. The experience I'm describing happening is called autogynephilia, okay? But that term is considered transphobic. That's considered an old sort of dismissed transphobic theory by a lot of the trans community. It's considered to be like a bigoted idea. It's because it came from this researcher in, like, I don't know, the 70s, 80s, 90s, in the past, who wrote a book, and he said that there are 2 types of trans people, and he doesn't care about trans men. That wasn't a thing for him. Just trans women, okay? So he only cares about trans women, and he says there's 2 types. There's gay men who feel like women because they're girly and they want to have sex with men, and they like maybe they fit into the social role of having sex with men better if they're a girl. And then there's straight men with autogynephilia, the desire to be the object of their own desire. So they want to be the girl because they're attracted to the girl, right? And his theory is considered ascientific and has been largely dismissed by academia, even though it describes me perfectly. I'm getting really tired of all of the stuff that describes me in my personal life being hated by liberals and woke people. Doesn't feel good in my chest. I've been debunked. Let's talk about that since I brought up debunking. Trans cells, okay? What is a trans cell? That's a crazy combination of words. Trans cells are a small offshoot of the incel community who decided that since being a girl is so much better than being a guy, and you know, at least in their eyes, and I have mixed feelings. Because it's so much better than being a guy, the best thing for incels to do is to transition and become girls. You know, it's easier to get laid if you're a girl. It's easier to get sex. It's easier to get attention and physical intimacy if you're a girl. So just transition. It's more socially acceptable to be trans than it is to be a lonely, sexually frustrated guy who whines about how alone he is on the internet. So just be trans instead. Wouldn't that be easier? Wouldn't that be better? So there's real people out there who consider themselves trans cells and have done this, who have done trans maxing, but not according to some of the liberal information sources that I consume. Some of them responded to the increased discussion around the term trans cell by saying that it was an attack by the right. See, the right is making up this nonsense fringe community of trans incels. How many of those do you really think are out there, right? I mean, that's crazy. They're making up this nonsense community as an attack on trans people, as a way of saying that, like, trans people aren't really trans. They're just lonely, sexually frustrated men who are becoming trans because of that. And so it's just a scam. 4chan made it up. It's a conspiracy theory. That's what it was called. The QAnon Anonymous podcast, which I listened to. It's called it a conspiracy theory. And then I Google the word and I'm like, oh, that's me. I'm a conspiracy theory. Me, the thing I'm currently experiencing, is a conspiracy theory. Sorry, I get a little bit frustrated when I think about this subject. So that's the autogynephilia part. Let's get into the compulsory heterosexuality part. Okay, so I want to be a girl in this scenario, right? I want to be a girl. So I start trying. And what I learn in the process is that there are very limited tools available to trans people in the here and now. You know, you got your classics. You got your hormone replacement therapy, right? That's a pretty solid one, actually. Weird that people are so upset about hormone replacement therapy and hormone blockers. That's the one that works the best and in the most subtle way. You know, it changes your skin, the texture of your skin and stuff, right? That's good. That's subtle. That's efficient. It's organic. That's the touch of an advanced technology, right? Hormone replacement therapy is a scalpel. It's a surgeon, right? Breast augmentation, which cis women do, that is a blunt instrument. That's a hammer. And you know who it doesn't work very well for? People who were born as men, because you need breast tissue. You need breast tissue for the implant to sit in. Google it. I know it because I've read a million articles on it. I've read a million articles on it till 4 a.m. with my dick in my hand. Angry. Yeah. It turns out if you want big boobies, but you were born a dude, it's really, really hard for you when compared to if you want big boobies, but you were born a girl. Because having breasts makes it easier to get a breast augmentation. That's a cruel joke of fate, isn't it? That's like God is laughing at me. So there's that. Very blunt instrument plastic surgery. I'm not a fan of it. It feels like a tease. It feels like a trap. It feels like selling me what I want, and then you look at the actual final results, and it's not what I want at all. It's this like fake plasticky, gross person. When what I want would be more organic, would be more seamless, right? But I tried to get somewhere in the middle, right? Because I saw some cute NBs. I saw some cute non-binary people on social media, and I thought, oh, I could do that. I can get in the middle. I can do like a David Bowie, like an androgynous thing, right? I can do an Adam Ant. I can do like an Adam Ant thing. And I tried, but it turned, you know, I wanted to start by getting me a bit more feminine, makeup, hair, and get rid of the body hair, and then I wanted to work on the clothes and stuff like that afterwards, right? Because I didn't want to walk around wearing a skirt with hairy legs. Call that internalized misogyny and transphobia. I don't think it looks good. It's not what I'm attracted to, and the whole point is to become what I'm attracted to. You can say that for you it isn't. That's fine. I'm not trying to oppose this on anyone else. But for me, that is the point, is to become what you're attracted to. So if I don't find it attractive, then it's not attractive. And it turns out that hair removal is not easy. I thought that laser hair removal was a one-time thing and that it was permanent. I thought it was like a tattoo. And I thought it was like a big life choice. And I thought that's why a lot of people didn't do it. Like a lot of women, they just shave their legs because they don't want the permanence of the life choice. And I thought it was a big investment all at once, right? But then you were done and you had it. So I was gonna get that. I was gonna get laser hair removal. Come to find out, it's not permanent at all. You have to re-up for the rest of your life. If you do it a lot and you get your body sort of trained to it, eventually the follicles start to die off, and then you'll only need it like on an annual basis. And that's what they told me. They were like, eventually you'll only need it once a year. And in order to pay for it, it's like financing a car. That's how expensive it is. The second you start talking to them about getting it done, they're like, well, let's talk about loans. Let's talk about, who do you bank with? Who do you bank with to get your hair removed? And you know, I tried to talk to my friends about why it upset me so much, and they couldn't relate, because my friends are like very definitely liberal-minded people, like a very woke friend, you know, and she was like, yeah, it sucks, you know, that's why the government should pay for trans healthcare. And I'm like, I get where you're coming from there. I like free stuff. I do like free stuff. I am a dirty free stuff supporter. But it does feel like maybe the free stuff, we should start with like the essential stuff. And this doesn't feel essential. Not for me, at least. Again, maybe gender dysphoria exists, although it's a little bit harder. It's a little bit harder in my heart of hearts to believe in gender dysphoria when I'm experiencing a desire to be a woman for a completely different reason, like a completely attraction-based reason, and when I read like trans schizo post memes, and they're like memeing, like, and they think they're alone. They think they're just with their other trans people, and they kind of are, right? Because they're only with me, right? But I'm reading these memes, and they're talking about like autogynephilia kind of desires. Right? They talk about like, be the girlfriend? Nah. Become the girlfriend? Yeah. You know, they're doing that kind of stuff in the memes. And I'm like, so you're actually experiencing what I'm experiencing too, probably. And you're just pretending you're not in order to self-advocate on social media against like transphobes or critics or whatever. Right? But maybe they are out there. I'm not a scientist. So if they are out there, then it does become essential, right? That's the argument, is that it is psychologically essential, because if you don't get it, you're definitely gonna kill yourself. Do you want an alive daughter or a dead son? And this is what makes it so impossible to talk about, is because the second you say, I want to be a girl, the conservatives stop listening. And the second you say what I just said, the liberals stop listening. So you're doomed. But what upset me is that if it's this expensive to get rid of all of the hair on my body, just to make myself maybe a little bit prettier, having the self-awareness to know that ultimately, deep down inside, probably I'm going to find a new thing to be unhappy about the second I get it, right? I'm going to find a new thing to be unhappy about. It's probably just another consumer desire. You go out, you buy the thing you want, then you go and you buy a different thing, and nothing ever really fully satisfies, right? So why should the government pay for me to get this thing that I probably don't really need, that I feel like I really want, that's outrageously expensive apparently, and that won't satisfy me ultimately? So I tried to do that for a little bit. The process was exhausting and painful. I remember looking at myself trying to shave my whole body in the bathroom alone one day, and just being like, nope, no, why are you doing this? This doesn't work. And I made a choice to lean in to working with what I do have, because I can be, I think, a relatively attractive guy if I lean into those attributes. So let's do that, and we'll satisfy the urge the other way, because that's the thing, right? Is if transness is an urge that cannot be satisfied by anything other than transition, there's more of an emphasis on it. But for me, at least, I don't think it is. I think I could 100% be satisfied if I fell in love and had a cute girlfriend who I could cuddle all the time. I think that would completely fill the hole, actually. I think that would be a perfect fit. A circle and a circle. I think I'd be good with that. I think that would not be another consumer desire. I think that would bring me genuine satisfaction. And part of the reason I think that is because I had a dog who was very cute, and I would cuddle the dog. And when I cuddled the dog, I felt better, because humans need physical touch and warmth, and it makes them feel good when they get it. And it's not all just a hedonistic treadmill. Sometimes we do have basic psychological needs that make us feel better. And the physical touch of the dog made me feel better. And my desire for women is very similar in that they're cute and squishy, and I want to squish their cute squishy parts. Yeah? Okay. So, let's get to the compulsory heterosexuality part. Compulsory heterosexuality is a term that emerged from lesbians. It's a way of describing, like, heteronormativity in our society, right? So, like, feeling like you have to date members of the opposite sex, even though you're not attracted to them. There's just something about it that brings you a sense of you're fitting in, you're comfortable. It just feels like you should do it, even if you're not attracted to them. And that got expanded to trans people, who I think use the term probably more these days than lesbians actually do. And trans women use it as a way of talking about dating men or sleeping with men for a sense of validation of their womanhood. Maybe they're only really attracted to women, but they're a trans woman and they want to be a woman, and they feel like part of the script of what being a woman is dating men and having sex with men because of heteronormativity. So, because of that, they want to sleep with men as to validate. So what happens when you want to be a girl, but not for the official trans reasons, and then you get that desire to validate your femininity, but you don't ever actually transition. You get this weird thing where you have sex with men to validate your femininity, which I have done. I have done that. I've been on Grindr. I've been to glory holes. I have sucked dick. This is a vulnerable topic because I don't know how many members of my family are going to watch this video. I don't care. I'll say it all. I have had sex with men. Didn't like it very much, though. Didn't like it very much the first time I did it. And then I did it again, and I didn't like it again. And it's to the point where it's almost a form of self-harm. It's almost, having sex with men is almost a form of self-harm for me. Because I think on some level, what I'm doing when I do it is I'm reconfirming for myself that I am so unattractive and of such little value, of such little import to any woman in my life, that they do not want me so much that the only way I can get to have sex is with men. And I'm proving it by doing it. So that's not a good thing to do. So I've stopped. And it's uncomfortable because if you talk to like a liberal friend about this, their first thought is, "Oh, honey, you're a bisexual trans woman who just has a lot of internalized transphobia and a lot of internalized homophobia, and they're not able to admit it to themselves yet. Oh, you poor baby, you can't admit it to yourself. You just don't know that you like men." No, I do. I know what I want. I want a girl. I wouldn't bother with men if there were women who were accessible, which leads to the incel part of this, right? Which is that it is super easy to have sex with a man. It is so goddamn easy. I can order one to my house like a pizza in 5 minutes. I can go on Grindr. I could go on it right now. It's a Monday at 10 a.m. I could do it right now, and there would be someone who is willing to fuck anything that moves. And it's not even like the ugliest, like bottom of a barrel of men, at least not by my standards. There are plenty of men that have the things I would look for, which are incredibly basic, conventional attractive things. Large penises. That's a big one. That's a big one. It gets a little hard to listen to women say that they don't care about size when you're a man who cares about size, who likes them big. I believe them. I do, because I don't care that much about the size of boobs and butts, and I can see women getting insecure about being flat-chested, and I don't care about that as a straight man. I don't care about that as a straight man. So maybe, maybe they care about penis size the same way. I believe them. They probably don't care about size that much, but it gets a little bit hard to feel it in your chest, that they're telling the truth when you are attracted to big you as a man are attracted to big penises. And it's easy to find a guy with a big penis and abs and order him to your house in 5 minutes. And he'll be there, and you'll have sex, and then he'll leave immediately. No words need to be exchanged. You don't literally have to say a single word. I had sex with a guy while he watched the news. Okay, and the news, get this, was Mitch McConnell having dementia. Oh, he paused for a slightly longer period of time than a normal person would pause. He must be dying, says every news station ever. How are they that coordinated? How are they that... It didn't seem like that long of a pause to me. I don't know what you're making a big deal. I get it. They're old. They are old. It's bad that our politicians are old. I'm with you on that. But it didn't seem like that big of a deal. And that was on in the background while I sucked a dude's dick. Ooh. So now it's weird because what am I? Because I think of myself really as a straight man, just with a lot of layers that were kind of added to that for me against my will by society, right? Because I didn't choose to live in a world where it's this much easier to have sex with men than it is with women. And personally, I feel like that points to a biological difference between men and women in how we think about sex and dating. I feel like it does. But that's anecdotal life experience. And all of the science seems to be being aggregated and delivered to me by left-wing YouTubers and media outlets and news articles who are very insistent that evolutionary psychologists, the one group of people who seem to be trying to prove my life experience is valid, the one group of people who seem to be trying to put some objective science to what I witness every day of my life, are constantly like debunking them. There's a 4-hour video from Moon Cat making fun of these creepy evolutionary psychologists. Oh, look at the creepy language they use. Oh, your mating desirability, your mating level is too low. You'll never find a mate that way. Who calls a girlfriend a mate? What a creepy dude. And she does a good job. She does a really good job. Like scientific wise, I don't know. I'm not a scientist, so I rely on YouTubers like her to aggregate and explain the information in these studies to me. And she seems to have found significant methodological errors with all of their work. So maybe it is all socially constructed. I don't care. Maybe it is. Maybe it's all socially constructed, but it sure doesn't fucking feel like it. So now I live in this weird spot, where I'm a lonely, sexually frustrated man who just wants a girlfriend, who just wants a normal girlfriend and to just be a normal guy with a normal girlfriend and to just live my life. But instead, it seemed for a time like it might almost be easier to become a girl than to get a girlfriend. And it also definitely, for sure, is easier to have sex with a man than to find a girl to have sex with. So given there are no women on the internet looking to have sex with a man on the internet, I have turned towards men, and now I've turned back away from them, and that is my gender and sexuality. There you go. There's my gender and sexuality. You've got it. You've got it all explained. That's basically what's going on with me. So, bye.